Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So good to see y'all gathered here today for our community picnic. Y'all know me, Sheriff Bucky Granger. And just remember, there's no danger when you vote for Granger. Now, I'm pleased to kick off today's festivities in this monumentous occasion in our town's history. We're finally digging up the time capsule that was buried here 50 years ago. Is everyone excited for that? Yeah, all right. But before we get into that, I imagine everybody here is just about ready to eat. So what do you say? Anybody hungry? Well, go to the back of the line then, sir. All right, well, let's get to eating. But first, I think we need to give a big thank you and a shout out to our town mayor and his team who put this whole thing together, Mayor Beauregard Picketts. Thank you, Mayor. Now let's get to it. Let's eat and get on to other festivities. Just make your way back to the table. Well, folks, now gather around. Sheriff Buckley Granger here again. And just remember, there's no danger when you vote for Sheriff Granger. Okay? But I would just like to say this is a monumentous occasion for our town's history. We're finally digging up the time capsule that was buried here 50 years ago. That's a long time. I remember my grandpappy telling me about it and how the whole town came together to preserve a slice of the past with a message for our future. But let me tell you, I never expected to be standing here with the great honor of protecting the time capsule and preserving our town's history. So without further ado, let's bring up one of the Worthington's own, my mayor, your mayor, Mayor Beauregard Picketts. Get on up here, Bo, come on up.
Well, howdy, folks. My name's Mayor Bo Pickens, leader of this fine town, master of ribbon cutting ceremonies, and three-time county golf champion. Welcome to Worthington, where the sun shines bright, the folks are friendly, and does anybody know where I parked my car? Oh, wait, I walked here. Thank you for coming out today for this historical moment, as the sheriff just said, in the life of our little town here at Worthington. Today we are opening the time capsule that was buried 50 years ago. Let's give that a round of applause. Why don't we do that again? Now I want to tell you that I was there when we dug her up and we cleaned her off last night, and I was there along with the sheriff and with Sam Worthington, and I guess I was there so I could keep them honest. Am I right? However, I want you to know that no one has looked inside or even a peek. No one has for 50 years. And we've kept it under lock and key in the offices at City Hall all night so we can experience this moment together as a community. And let me just say, I know that each and every one of you are very excited for this moment.
You better believe we are excited. I think everyone knows me, Ruby Lou, librarian, the official, unofficial historian of Worthington. Maybe we can finally get to the missing pieces we need to solve this mystery and find this hidden treasure. Oh, just hush you. Just hush. Don't you see, this is thrilling. A real-life treasure hunt right here in our own sleepy little town. I've read all about these kind of things in my books, hidden messages, secret codes, long-lost fortunes, and just think, we have all of that happening right here in good old Worthington, USA. If that gold was never found after that train stop all those years ago, it could still be out there somewhere, just waiting for us to uncover it. All we have to do is follow the clues, and I'm betting the clues that we need might just be found in that time capsule, waiting to be opened. Who knows what mysteries might be solved and revealed today?
Well, here we go again with this conspiracy. Don't get it'll start all over again with stories and mysteries. Last year, y'all swore up and down that old man Jenkins found pirate gold in his rich cellar. Turned out to be a rusty tin of buttons. And don't get me started on the UFO. That was just Miss Patty's prize-winning pie pan caught in the wind. Now you're getting all worked up again about nothing, the long-lost treasure buried in Worthington. There's no truth to it at all. I swear, our little town is so quiet around here, folks are looking for just about anything to start gossiping about. Listen, just because the sock goes missing from the laundry doesn't mean it's a big conspiracy or some big mystery. You don't need to call in Sherlock Holmes to solve the case. As the only living descendant of the Worthington family, I believe it is my duty to provide some sensibility and leadership to this town. And that includes putting an end to all the town gossip, especially when it comes to all the fuss about this fabled gold. The stories are as old as the town itself, and it has never amounted to anything. Let's just move along and get to opening up this time capsule.
Excuse me. So sorry to butt into your little meeting here, but my husband Bob and I are on a road trip to California. We were driving through town and happened to see all the people gathered here in the park. We thought we would stop and find out what was going on.
Yeah, we thought that this was some kind of fair or town picnic, but you folks keep going on about some money, a treasure or something. You sure got our attention. I mean, just like my wife Janice said, we are just passing through, but now we are wondering if you all wouldn't mind if we stayed long enough here to hear more about this gold.
Oh, hush up, Bob. I just want to hear more about this town's history. This sounds so exciting. We would love to meet some of you folk, hear more about this time capsule, and even watch you open it if you wouldn't mind. I fancy myself something of a history buff, and I find this sort of thing so fascinating.
History buff? Last week, she told me the Gettysburg Address was a little house Abraham Lincoln grew up in. I said, honey, I think that was a speech.
That's enough, Bob. I knew it had something to do with Lincoln, didn't I? So I get some details wrong from time to time. I still think history is so interesting. Like I was saying, Bob, I was just wondering if someone wouldn't mind telling us more about the time capsule and the history of the town.
Bienvenue dans notre vie. Welcome to our little town. I can tell you more about what is going on here. My name is Madame Dubois, curator of the Gilded Lily, a little antique shop down on Main Street. As owner of an antique shop, I seem to find myself at the very center of the legend. Everyone assumes that secrets and clues are hidden in items found in my store. Local legend says that nearly 100 years ago, a train carrying gold was heading to a neighboring town, but made an unexpected stop here in our city of Worthington. The gold was intended to help build a new school, but it never reached its destination, and the gold was never recovered. Was it stolen along the way? Removed from the train in the city of Worthington? Or perhaps it never made it on the train to begin with? No one knows, but many believe that the money is hidden here, somewhere in Worthington. Très mystérieux. 50 years ago, the City Council of Worthington buried a time capsule for future generations. Official records say it is full of photos, letters, and small artifacts from their time. However, some believed it could hold new clues that will finally uncover the mystery of the missing gold and lead to its location. The whole town has gathered for this picnic, and to open up the time capsule to review its contents. Who knows what is inside? C'est la vie. What will be, will be. We will open the capsule and then finally move on to other things. But first, let's have le dessert.
We're going to take a slight intermission for dessert. Finish that up. We have some chocolate chip cookies, caramel apples, Oreo cheesecake, and some puppy chow. So let's grab some dessert, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Howdy, folks. Can I get your attention, please? Now, was that some good eating or what? Yeah. Let's thank this year's dinner team who helped prepare the food and service. Didn't they do a terrific job? Well, the time has finally come. We've been waiting for this moment for 50 years. You know, history is very important. Some people only want to look forward to making changes and having new things. But new things become old things, and old things are sometimes the new things again. And then we need other new things when maybe we should just keep the old things so the new things can stay the way they are. Wait, that's not right. I think that made more sense in my head. Yeah, I'll get to it there, Sam. All right. The point is, sometimes the old things are important too. History teaches us lessons that we can learn from. But I guess you don't want any speeches today. So without further ado, I think our boys are going to get back there. Are you making your way back there with them, Sheriff? Or are you going to stay right over here with me? All right. Without further ado, it is my privilege and pleasure as the mayor of this good town of Worthington, Mayor Beauregard Pickens, the time capsule from 1975. Present. I meant to say to present. You know what I mean? Thank you, boys. Well, now, folks, I swear I had a key to this time capsule right here in my pocket. Or was it on my other jacket? Wait, do I have another jacket? Oh dear, this is starting to feel like the last time I lost my pet turtle. Turns out he was just taking a very slow walk. Anyway, where were we? All right, the key to the capsule, and by golly, we're gonna find it. Just as soon as, what were we talking about again? All right, the time capsule.
Don't worry, Mayor, I got your keys.
Thank you.
Keys right here, yeah.
Thank you.
You left them at your desk again. So, the citizens of Worthington have trusted me with matters of safety and security, and I appreciate that the trust you have placed in me. Remember, there's no danger when you vote for Sheriff Granger. I kept the time capsule under lock and key since it was dug up yesterday afternoon. No one has opened it nor seen its contents in 50 years. So it is with great honor that I open the gateway to the past. The time capsule's empty. How can that be? It has been locked up in the mayor's office all night. I locked it up myself. All right, nobody leaves. We're going to get to the bottom of this, and I'm going to start an investigation right here, right now. Some of y'all seem a little more interested in the capsule than others because you think it will lead to solving the mystery about the missing gold. Maybe one of you thought you could get a head start over everyone else, finding a clue that could lead it to you. To begin my investigation, I need to call a few of you up here. I'm going to call up the following: Sam Worthington, Mayor Bo Pickens, Ruby Lou, Madame Dubois, and even our two out-of-town guests, the traveling couple. What's your names again? Yes, Bobby and Janice. The timing of your visit seems a little too convenient. All right, I have some questions for each of you. I want to hear what you know about the time capsule and what your interest is in it. I think I'll start with you, Ruby Lou. You're always talking about the mystery, hidden clues, trying to solve puzzles, to find treasure. Did you break into the mayor's office to get a sneak peek at what was in the time capsule?
I did not. Oh, how dare you. I don't know what you're talking about, Sheriff. Of course, I'm interested in the stories. Everyone in the town is. The whole town has been talking about it. I admit that I read the books in my library all day long, learning about adventure, intrigue, and whodunit thrillers. I've always wanted to get my nose out of those books and actually solve a real-life mystery of my own. But it doesn't mean I'm going to break the law. Where did you go? But I would not break into the mayor's office, and I certainly would not steal the contents of the time capsule, even if I found it. I have no intentions of stealing that treasure. I think if found, it should go to its real owners, the people of Barterville, on down the road. It belongs to them, and it should go to them. My research discovered that The reason the money was on the train to begin with is that the gold was coming directly from the U.S. Treasury. It would be over 700 pounds of gold and worth a fortune today. Can you imagine how much good we could do with that wealth? But it also means that the missing gold was no accident. There is no way it was simply misplaced. I mean, oh my gosh, I'd lost 700 pounds. Moving that kind of weight is doable, but it would require time, opportunity, and planning. Someone knows something. I think we should ask Sam Worthington some questions since his family has controlled the railroad in this part of the country for over a century. That would certainly give them access and certainly would have the resources to make such plans. And why is he always trying to get people to stop talking about it? Is he trying to keep the mystery all to himself? What do you say to that, Mr. Worthington?
I most certainly protest. That is preposterous. Thank you. My family has been honest, fair, and the backbone of this town since it was founded in 1853. Okay, I'm going to tell everyone the secret about the contents of Time Capsule, but I'm only telling this story to show my innocence and clear my family name. I was expecting to find a private letter in the capsule. After the death of my father some years ago, my grandfather told me that he wrote a letter with instructions about preserving the family legacy and fortunes. He placed that letter in the time capsule to be opened up when I was older and would be taking over the responsibility of the family holdings. I have been waiting for this day since I was a child. Why would I break into the mayor's office and steal the contents the day before? The letter would have been made available to me anyways. Why? Our family has been a stalwart, the financial bedrock that this town has relied on for more than a century. Now I don't even know what is in the letter. All I know is that my grandfather said the letter had special instructions for me that only I would understand or be able to take action upon. So I permanently waited for the capsule to be opened. If you want to interrogate someone, I think you need to talk to these two strangers in town. It's awful suspicious that they arrived today of all days. They said they are on their way to California, right? Well, Worthington is a long way from California, and we are nowhere near any highway that would take you there. I want to know why they are really here today.
Hey, what are you trying to say? We haven't done anything wrong, nor do we have anything to hide. My name really is Janice, and this is my husband, Bob. However, I admit it, you are right. We are not driving to California. We are here for the unveiling of the time capsule.
And to come say, hi, Uncle Bo.
Be quiet, Bob. Look, as I said, we are not trying to hide anything. I might as well tell you that Mayor Beauregard is my uncle. His sister, Bernice Picketts, who some of you may have known from before she moved away 35 years ago to go to college, well, she is my mother, and we live in New Jersey now. A little over a month ago, Uncle Bo called my mom and happened to mention that the time capsule is being dug up today. Well, she had forgotten all about the legend, the gold, and the capsule over these years. So she got pretty excited remembering about it and telling everyone about this big day.
Yeah, and when we heard about it, Janice and I talked about driving out here to watch the ceremony. We had a couple weeks of vacation coming up and thought a road trip would be a great idea. Mom, Pickett's, told us all about her days growing up in Worthington, and she would even mention the old stories about the missing gold. We were intrigued and decided to drive out here to watch. Oh, and because Janice is a history buff.
Oh, be quiet, Bob. Look, we just got here this morning. There's no way we could have broken it into the mayor's office or stolen anything from the time capsule. So we don't know anything about the contents of the time capsule, the missing treasure, or any clues except what my mom told us a few weeks ago. We just thought it would be a fun little adventure to take.
Hey, I want to hear more from this French lady, Madame Dumbledore or whatever. You know, the owner of the antique store, she sounds like she has interesting stories to tell. Maybe there are notes or maps of hints about where the missing money might be. What else does she have to say?
Oh, be quiet, Bob, and sit down.
Ah, but mon chéri, the past is a way of whispering to those who are willing to listen. I have known mysteries in my time, but this one has the scent of something truly special. What I can tell you is this. Some years ago, an antique desk came through my shop. While I was cleaning it and going through the drawers, there was a note hidden in a secret compartment I found in the desk. At first, I didn't think it meant anything, just a letter between two lovers. However, the more I thought about it, the more I came to think it might contain clues that might have something to do with the missing money. The letter was not a whisper of love, but an invitation to adventure. Someone, long ago, left this letter talking about hidden desires and romantic rendezvous. Not for love, but instead, these are clues to finding the treasure. It is an invitation to begin a journey that would lead to the gold. Or at least, I think that is what it says. Now, I do not know for sure that the note is pointing to the treasure, but there is nothing that makes me think the time capsule has anything to do with it. So there is no reason that I would go anywhere near it. However, I do know that someone who is very interested in the capsule. He was in my shop just a few days ago, talking about how he needed to get into it. He thinks he is above suspicion, but I would ask these same questions of the one in charge of keeping the capsule secure. I think we should hear from Sheriff Granger.
Now, hold on a second here. Yeah. What am I being accused of? Please turn the page. I'm the law around these parts, and I take that responsibility seriously. And I have words with anyone who says otherwise.
Me? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you. Me and 4 other men dug that capsule up yesterday. No one was alone with it all the way until we locked it up in the mayor's office for safekeeping overnight. Now, to my knowledge, no one else has had a key to his office, and we found the capsule this morning exactly the way we left it the night before. Then Bo and I brought it out here together just before the community gathering started this afternoon. Furthermore, the time capsule was buried right out in front of our town hall for the last 50 years. There's a security camera pointed at the front of the building recording that spot 24 hours a day. No one could have tampered with it before we dug it up yesterday. That means that someone had to tamper with it last night and then put it back exactly as we had placed it the night before. There's only one more person we need to hear from to unlock this mystery. And I'm sorry to have to do this to you, Mayor, but I think you're going to have to come up here and explain to you what the missing contents of the time capsule means.
What? Good people of Worthington. We've faced sunny days and we've faced darker times, but we always pull together as a community to face every challenge together. All this finger pointing and questioning and accusations against your neighbor, well, nothing good will come for it. Now, I believe in the good, honest folks of Worthington. Why, just last week, someone returned my wallet that was lost. They even left me a note thanking me for paying for their breakfast down at the Piggly Wiggly. That proves my point. This town's got integrity. We are all Worthingtonians, and we will find the truth. I believe someone will step forward and take responsibility for what they've done. We're all looking forward to finding out what was hidden in that time capsule. Maybe there is an important clue to the treasure, or maybe there isn't. But whoever did this, I ask you to see what this is doing to our town and just tell the truth.
Well, listen here. This ain't no simple mix-up. I'm not so confident as our mayor here that someone will step forward and fess up. No, we are going to need to figure this out, and it's going to take the whole town to do it. You folks have listened to the stories and testimonies of each person in question. Well, we need each of you to tell us who you think snuck into the mayor's office, opened the time capsule, and stole the contents. Get a piece of paper and write your name on it, then bring it up here, place it in the bag that corresponds to the person who you think did it, and I need you all back up here. Mayor Pickett's, Ruby Lou, Madame Dubois, Sheriff Granger, even our two out-of-towners, Bob and Janice.
And what about you, Sam?
Yeah, what about Sam?
You ain't getting out of this.
Well, indeed, yes, I got nothing to hide. Let's just see if this applies enough pressure to get the culprit to speak up and tell us what happened. So we will give you a few moments to make your choices and then see what happens.
Well, it looks like everyone has made their choice as to who they think has tampered with the time capsule. And over these last few minutes, I think I figured out who did it. I know who broke into the mayor's office and took the contents of the time capsule. And I got to tell you folks, I think we're stirring something up that wasn't meant to be, that was meant to stay buried. That train stop a long time ago had plenty of folks who have tried, and plenty of folks have tried to figure out what happened to that gold ever since. It's not just harmless gossip. Who knows if the gold ever came to Worthington, and if it did, that kind of money can change. Not necessarily for the good. People change. It won't do any good to have people digging into it. I'm just afraid of what's gonna happen, what's it doing to our town, and I am not trying to control anybody, but for the sake of safety, I've decided I needed to know what we're going to find. So just so that I could prepare to keep the peace. It was me. I took the contents of the time capsule and I hoped to replace them before anyone found out. I wasn't gonna keep anything from the folks of Worthington. I just needed to know what we were getting into, and I'm really sorry for keeping it from you. So before we conclude, I wanna thank everybody tonight. Brenda, Debbie, Linda, Megan, all you guys that did the food, thank you for that. Pastor Carey, thanks for writing the script, taking time out of your day to do this for us. All the actors and everything like that helped out, thank you. The decoration crew, thank you guys. Terry, do you have anything to say at the end?